Yeah, we should start now so that we don't run over 8 o'clock by too much. So welcome everyone. Let's just like usual, and first get comfortable in our meditation posture wherever we're sitting. And first try to focus our attention for a minute or so to let go of thoughts about other things unrelated to the session. To try to focus all of our energy on praying for people who are suffering, especially right now with COVID-19 and in other ways related to the pandemic, and in general for all sentient beings. And to do that, especially praying to Mother Tara, who's the emanation of all the Buddha's enlightened activities. There's like an enlightened aspect of the wind element, the wind energy. And sometimes also I think we can think that, she's of course a female deity, a mother goddess, that her green color, I don't know if I've seen this in a text, but I always think in my mind it has her being green, like why is she depicted as green instead of some other color. But I don't know, I like to relate it to growth, the growth of plants and the energy, the way they transform the sun and water, and all the sun and water and the earth into vegetation, which sustains life for so many kinds of creatures. So in that way, I think Tara is like a life-sustaining force, like a motherly energy. Anyway, so let's try to focus our minds on what we're doing. So focus as you get comfortable in your posture, then focus your attention on an object of meditation, be it your breath or your mind or a visualized image of Tara or whatever you like. And try to focus your attention there, and when you see your attention wandering off, notice that and bring it back. And then visualize yourself surrounded by all sentient beings, with your mother of this life to your immediate left, your father of this life to your immediate right, and then all of your other female friends and family to your left and behind you, and male friends and family to your right and behind you. So the reason, we usually describe like that, or it's described like that in the texts actually, with the female friends and family to our left, because the left side of our body is associated with female energy, which is associated primarily with the wisdom side of the path. So the wisdom realizing emptiness. And the right side of our body, probably because most people are right-handed, it's more associated with, whereas the wisdom is kind of like the yin, it's kind of like internal, it's a voidness, spaciousness. It's like the very sphere of things being empty of existing from their own side, by which movement and interaction is possible, action is possible. Whereas the right side of the body is associated with, the positive, proactive, kind of yang, outward going, the method side of the path. So, bodhichitta and the intention to act and those things. So, so therefore, the fathers visualized to our right, and all of our male friends and family to our right and behind us. So bring those people whom you easily generate concern for to mind. Imagine them all seated around you, and remember your special link with them in this life. Especially remember their kindness and generate gratitude. And then remember those whom we have to make special effort to generate kindness and concern for, those whom we're most prone to become angry with, or we feel like they antagonize us. We have an antagonistic relationship with them. So imagine these people, whoever they may be, directly in front of us, facing towards us. And then imagine all the other sentient beings of all the 6 realms in human form, seated all around us. And try to generate an equal sense of concern for all of these 3 classes of beings: friends, antagonists, and strangers. Especially remembering the suffering that they all experience, and especially during the pandemic. And during this time when there's so much war and violence, as in Israel and Palestine and other countries in the world, and in the midst of climate destruction among animals, in the oceans, on the land, in the sky, not to mention other realms and other universes. So thinking of all the suffering of sentient beings generate compassion, and thinking of the potential of all creatures, all sentient beings, for well-being and happiness up to enlightenment, generate love that aspires, wishes for them to have every happiness and well-being. And then, if you can, then reflecting on, not only how good it would be for sentient beings to be free from suffering and have every happiness, but how I myself, so take a sense of personal responsibility. I myself have a responsibility to use my life, this life and all future lives, to do whatever I can to benefit sentient beings. And ultimately, the best way to that I can benefit others is to eliminate all the causes of suffering for myself, and create and achieve every form of lasting happiness up to full enlightenment, so that I can show others how to do this. So in short, I myself must become fully enlightened in order to be of the greatest service to other sentient beings. So if we can, generate a bodhichitta motivation like that, and then relate it back to the session. Therefore, for that purpose, I'm going to engage in this session of Tara practice. Okay, then visualize a refuge field in the space in front of you, whether it's Tara herself, or Shakyamuni Buddha, or one of your gurus, whatever you like, and then generate the mind of refuge. Wishing to be free, wishing to be free from the suffering of future lives, suffering of samsara in general, for yourself or for others, and having faith that the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, the 3 rare sublime ones, are the 3 jewels of refuge, having faith that they have the ability to protect us from suffering and lead us to a state of full enlightenment. So try to generate that kind of single-pointed, unwavering faith, which is the mind of refuge. And then we can read this first verse of the glance meditation on the graduated path as a way of going for refuge at the beginning. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings, and Lord of all supreme beings. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings, and Lord of all supreme beings. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings, and Lord of all supreme beings. I thought another thing to mention actually about the motivation at the beginning. Yeah, usually, oftentimes, Lama Zopa Rinpoche says that, whatever activity we're doing, we need to make sure it becomes dharma, right? Rather than just another worldly activity, which will lead us into further suffering and samsara. So the way we make any activity dharma is based on the motivation. And so there's three motivations that are guaranteed to make anything we do a dharma practice if we have that motivation. So one is to think about the fact of death, that we're going to die away from this life. So instead of having a motivation to achieve just the worldly happiness of this life, to at least at the very minimum have a wish to achieve happiness of future lives for ourselves. And then another is so one is to renounce the craving for the pleasure in this life. And another is to renounce just a selfish mind, right? So because altruistic mind goes against all of the afflictive emotions, except, well, almost. So another way to make any activity we're doing dharma is to be motivated primarily that by doing that, we bring about the welfare of others, right? So to not think about ourselves, but to think about may it bring about benefit to others. So that's what we're focusing on now, generating bodhichitta motivation, primarily that, and then the aspiration to become enlightened. So that's the second way, having an altruistic motivation to benefit all sentient beings. And then a third kind of motivation is just a little bit more simple one, is just to think, by doing this, may I fulfill the wishes of my guru, or my teacher. So that's the one I wanted to mention. So especially when we're going for refuge, another good motivation is just to think, especially here when we're doing this Tara practice, we're filling the wishes of His Holiness Dalai Lama. Basically, it's his advice to do Tara practice in order to relieve suffering and bring about a resolution to the pandemic. So we can also think we're following, by doing this practice, we're following our Guru's advice. Okay, let's read the rest of this glance meditation on the Lama, and then we'll do the rest of the practice. Please, Guru Buddhas, bestow on me the ability to unify my mind with the Dharma and be successful in practicing Dharma in order to achieve the graduated path. May no hindrances occur while achieving this path. Please bless me to realize that I have received a perfect human rebirth, which is highly meaningful, for many reasons difficult to obtain, but perishable, transient, and fragile, decaying in the shortest moment because of its changeable nature. Thus my death is definite, but its actual time is most indefinite. And after that, I am far more likely to be reborn in the lower suffering realms, having created infinitely more negative than positive karma, and this in all previous lives. Please bless me to comprehend how incredibly unendurable is the suffering of the lower realms, that I might take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha with all my heart, and realize the evolution of karma in all its profundity, that I might perform only virtuous actions and abandon all negative creations. By practicing in this way, I will be reborn in the upper realms, but will still have to experience unlimited samsaric suffering because of uncontrolled delusion and karma. Please bless me to realize fully the evolution of samsara, from uncontrolled rebirth to death to rebirth, and to follow day and night the three higher trainings of the path: higher conduct, higher concentration, and higher wisdom, which are the main methods to release me from samsara. But as each sentient being has been my mother, and as most of them are in extreme suffering, please bless me to bring success to all sentient beings by renouncing the perfect happiness of self and practicing the bodhisattva's deeds of the six perfections with the bodhisattva's mind of exchanging self with others on the basis of the equanimity meditation. Thus I shall have no sorrow in experiencing the samsaric suffering of all sentient beings for no matter how long, having trained my mind in the general path. On the Vajrayana path, please bless me to follow the quick Vajrayana teachings by feeling sentient beings suffering very unimaginably unbearable for even the shortest moment as my own, and to achieve the attainment of Shakyamuni Buddha immediately, at this very moment, by keeping my ordinations and instructions of the Guru with the best and highest care in life for the sole purpose of enlightening all sentient beings. So then we do the initial visualization of the Guru, who's one essence with Aryatara above the crown of our head, and that at the Guru's heart is Tara. Tara's heart is the letter Tam. So above the crown of my head, I visualize a lotus and a moon disk. Upon these is the great treasury of compassion, Aryatara, mother of all enlightened beings, who is oneness with my kind Guru and appears in the aspect of my kind Guru. My Guru is seated in the full lotus position within a transparent sphere of rainbow-colored light, is pink in complexion, and wears saffron robes and a pandit's hat. His or her right hand is at its heart in the gesture of teaching the Dharma, and holds a vajra and stem of a white lotus that blossoms beside his right ear. His left hand rests on his hip and holds a bell and the stem of another white lotus that looms beside his left ear. So just visualize that for a moment. The Guru with a pink complexion, wearing robes of a fully ordained monk or nun. At the right hand in the gesture of teaching the Dharma, holding a vajra, the left hand holding a bell, resting on his left hip, and each hand holding the stem of a white lotus, and the white lotus is blossom beside the right and left ears. Right, so this is on the crown of your head. Yeah, the smaller you can visualize, the better in general. But even if the visualization is not particularly clear, the main thing is to just feel that your Guru is there and focus your mind without one single pointedly, right, on the presence of the Guru and whatever visual aspect you can generate to keep the mind focused on that for a moment. Okay, and my Guru's heart is Aryatara in female aspect, green in color, and seated in the dancing posture within a rainbow bubble, or a sphere of rainbow light. Her left leg is bent up and her right leg is outstretched. Her left hand is at her heart in the mudra symbolizing the triple gem and holding the stem of a blue utpali flower. Her right hand is extended over her right knee, is in the mudra of granting sublime realization, so the palm is face up. And the forefinger, the pointer finger and the thumb, are they touching? No, they're not touching. I think the hand is just extended out. No, I want to look at the photo. I forgot. Let's see, here's the best one. That looks like the forefinger and the thumb are touching. Okay, looks like that. Where her right hand extended over her right knee is in the mudra of granting sublime realizations. She is beautifully adorned with jeweled ornaments and scarves, and at her three places bears the syllables Om Ah Hum. At her heart is a lotus and moon seat on which stands a radiant green syllable tongue. Rays of green light radiate in all directions from the tongue and invoke all the enlightened beings of the 10 directions. They are all absorbed into Arya Tara and become one. Right. So visualize for a moment clearly, and especially focus your mind on Arya Tara, this green aspect being at the heart of the guru, above the crown of your head. And at her heart is a green letter tongue. Okay, then we make a heartfelt request to Tara. Please remain above my head until I receive enlightenment. And then we do the refuge and bodhichitta prayer. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. So regenerate your bodhicitta motivation and combine with the attitude of refuge. And then also remember emptiness, that oneself, the Guru and Tara, and all sentient beings, all the Buddhas, all phenomena are one taste in being empty of existing from their own side. They're all dependently arising phenomena. And then the 7-limb prayer. With my body, speech, and mind, I devoutly prostrate. I offer all offerings, both real and imagined. All sins and offenses amassed from beginningless time, I confess, right? So try to generate the 4 powers of purification. So the power of reliance is basically refuge and bodhicitta, which we just did. So now we focus on the power of regret. The stronger the mind of regret, the stronger the purification is. Right? So think of non-virtuous negative things you've done in this life and past lives. Past lives you can, what do you say, infer. Basically, we've done everything. Generate a mind of regret. So then the practice that we'll do from here on is the purification. And then, maybe now it's also good just to try to generate the power of restraint, meaning to think, in the future for whatever realistic time we can agree to, then I won't do this action again. So you can think of specific different actions. And then those you maybe will never do again. Those maybe you'll try to abandon for at least the rest of today or the rest of this session or whatever. And then the limb of rejoicing. I rejoice in all virtuous actions of holy and ordinary beings. Rejoice in your own and others' actions, among others are sentient beings. And hearers, solitary realizers, bodhisattvas, and Buddhas. Rejoice in all the virtuous deeds. And then we request, O Gurus and Buddhas, please remain until samsara ends and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. All my virtues and those of all others I dedicate to the great enlightenment. And then we offer a mandala. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offering. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of my attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, and my body, wealth, and enjoyments. Without any sense of loss, I offer this collection. Please accept it with pleasure and bless me with freedom from the 3 poisons. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kamyaratai. And then these 4 requests, in reaction to which light rays, white, red, blue, and then all 3 together, emanate from the forehead, throat, and heart of Aryatara and our Guru, visualized above the crown of our head, purifying our body, speech, and mind, and then subtle obscurations. Please bless me to purify all obscurations of my body so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body. So make a request. And in response to this, white light emanates from the Om at Aryatara's brow and curves in an arc into my brow. My body is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. And then the next, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my speech so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. Make a request. In response to this, red light emanates from the Ah at Aryatara's throat and curves in an arc into my throat. My speech is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. So remember, one aspect of Vajra speech is that it's never separated. It's speech which is never separated from the mind realizing emptiness, and also from the attitude of bodhichitta. So try to imagine developing Guru Aryatara's holy Vajra speech. And then the 3rd request, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my mind so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. Make a request. And in response to this, blue light emanates from the Hum at Aryatara's heart and curves in an arc into my heart. My mind is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. So think of the realization of emptiness and great compassion and bodhicitta in your own Guru's minds, as well as Dalai Lama or whoever your main Gurus are, and think your mind becomes exactly the same as that, unified with that realization. And then the 4th request, please bless me to purify all delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience, so that my body, speech, and mind will become one with Guru Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. Make a request. And then in response to that, the 3 colored light beams emanate simultaneously from the Om on Hum syllables, curving in an arc and entering my 3 places, completely purifying all my delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience. My body, speech, and mind become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. So then my root Guru dissolves into Tara, who melts into brilliant green light which flows into me through the crown of my head, completely filling my entire body. Instantly, my wrong conceptions that I and others, that all phenomena are self-existent or inherently existent, or existing from their own side, together with my dualistic mind and its views, disappear, becoming completely empty. Not even a trace of them remains. I concentrate one-pointedly or single-pointedly in this empty state with the wisdom that is indistinguishably one with Guru Tara's blissful, omniscient mind. So imagine your mind merges with the mind of the Guru and Tara, or one essence. And they melt all your body, speech, and mind. The Guru dissolves into you, and then you melt into emptiness. And focus the mind single-pointedly on emptiness. Then out of that emptiness, so here for those who have initiation, you visualize you yourself become Tara. For those who don't have initiation, visualize Tara arises out of this mind of wisdom, realizing emptiness in the space before you or above you. Then out of that emptiness, my wisdom manifests instantly as Arya Tara's holy body, seated upon a lotus and one cushion. And my heart is another lotus, upon which in the center stands the syllable tam, surrounded in a clockwise direction by the syllables of the mantra Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. The tam and the mantra are manifestations of Guru Tara's holy mind, with which my mind is totally united. So visualize strongly Tara for a moment. Okay, then we do the mantra recitation with these three. Oh, actually, I want to do let's do the praise to the 21 Taras here. So as we recite these praises to the 21 Taras, imagine with each verse, one of the 21 Taras absorbs into you or into the Tara visualized in front. From the sublime abode at the Patala, a Tara born from the green letter Tam, your ground adorned with Amitabha, action mother of the Buddhas of the three times. Tara, please come with your attendants. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. All my prostrate to the transcendent liberator. Homage, Tara, swift heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, frontal and opening stamens of the Lord of Rivers, Stillborn Lord. Homage, she whose face combines 100 autumns at fullest, blazing with light rays resplendent, as a thousand star collection. Homage, golden blue on lotus, water born and hand adorned, giving effort calm austerities, patience, meditation, hers. Homage, Kana Tathagata's actions triumph without limit, relied on by conquerors' children, having reached every perfection. Homage filling with Tutare, whom desire direction and space, trembling with their feet the seven worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the all Lord, Shakara Ani Brahma, honored by the host of spirits, corpses, Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with her tread and pad sound, destroying those magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out right and blazing in a raging fireplace. Homage to the very dreadful destroyer of Mara's champions, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies. Jata heard her fingers, adorn her with ritual mudra. Lyra masses all excite. All directions wheels adorn her. She's so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light. Mirthful laughing with her thought, subjugating Mara's day. She able to summon all her guardians assembly. Shaking, crowning with their home sign, saving from every misfortune. Crown adorned with grass and mood all ornaments most shining. Amitabha in her hair now, sending how much light eternal. She made Rita blaze like eon ending fire abide. Russia Leopard surrounds you, troops of enemies destroying. She who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats him. Scaling with the ladder home, the 7 levels she does conquer. Happy, joyful, happy, virtuous, peaceful. She whose field is peace nirvana, and that with omens destroyer of the great evil. She would just surround it, tearing foes bodies asunder. Freeze with home and knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters, Ametude Wusi letter, of the ship of syllable, by foot stamping 63 with Meru Mandara in Binyam, Ahmed holding in her hand, hammock moon of Deva Lake, with touch spoken Tara and Pat, totally dispelling poison. She whom gods and their kings and the Kinanas do honor, armored in all joyful splendor, she dispels bad dreams and conflict. She used two eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, which touch Hara and Dutari. She dispels severe contagion. Full of liberating, power by that set of 3 natures, destroys hosts of spirits, yakshas, and raise courses superintuiting. These praises with the root mantras and prostrations thus are 21. So then we do the 3 visualizations with the recitation of Tara's mantra, the 10-syllable mantra. So, yeah, remembering visualization of Tara. Letter heart is the letter Tam. Surrounding that, the letters of the mantra Om Tari 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 Swaha. Standing upright in a clockwise direction around the edge of the moon disk. And all of this is in the nature of emptiness and bodhichitta. Green light radiates from all the letters of the mantra, spreading in every direction. It purifies the negative karmas, gross delusions, and subtle obscurations to omniscience of all sentient beings who become Tara. So imagine light rays radiate out, purifying all sentient beings, and they become Tara. Om Tare Tutare Swaha. Om Tare Tutare Swaha. Om Tare Tutare Swaha. Untitled Chapter. And the next visualization is making offerings. Again, light radiates from the thumb and the letters of the mantra, bearing manifold offerings, right? So all different kinds of offerings, all that you can imagine. Making offerings to the 6 transcendental senses of the Buddhas. So the Buddha's transcendental eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind of all the Buddhas and sentient beings who have become Tara. So imagine all the sentient beings have become fully enlightened as Arya Tara, and all the Buddhas appear, all the other Buddhas appear in the aspect of Tara, and you make offerings to all of them with light rays radiated from the Tam and letter. So letter Tam and the mantra, manifesting boundless offerings. Om Tare Tutara Tara Swa. Om Tare Tutara Tara. Om Tare Tutara Tara Swa. And then the third visualization of a shower of taras absorbing to us. The enlightened beings are extremely pleased and shower down the superlative qualities of Buddha Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind, omniscient wisdom, supreme power, infinite compassion, and so forth, in the form of a great shower of light rays. As I recite the mantra, I absorb and am blessed by this rain of light blessings. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. Om Tare Tutare Swaha. Om Tare Tutare. So, now we dedicate. So think of all so imagine first, strongly, you and all sentient beings have been transformed into Aryatara. And the environment has become the pure land of Aryatara. The environment of the earth, all elements are in balance, all sentient beings live in harmony with one another. Totally devoid of anger, any malevolent intentions, any loneliness, sadness, and perfect happiness, loving kindness, compassion, generosity, patience. And you and all sentient beings see all phenomena as completely empty of even the slightest atom of inherent existence. All phenomena empty of existing from the outside. So within emptiness, when we dedicate, may I quickly become Guru Aryatara and lead each and every sentient being into her enlightened state because of these merits. May the supreme jewel, bodhichitta, that has not arisen, arise and grow. And may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. And then the supreme of dedications, the king of prayers. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, who lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 direction, to all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down.
And well, can you share the king of prayers, maybe?
Oh, see, it doesn't work. I was sharing my screen, but then within share screen, I just switched to a different file, but it doesn't appear. See, I thought that's what happened. Okay, we start over. The king of prayers from the beginning. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions, to all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all of you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every atom are Buddhas numberless as atoms, each amidst a host of bodhisattvas. And I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of all Buddhas and celebrate all you gone to bliss. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you victorious ones. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and confusion, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all positive potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers still training in those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-beings of all wonders in samsara. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering, and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting the Buddhas to stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for full awakening. May you Buddhas now living in the worlds of 10 directions, and all you've gone to freedom in the past accept my offerings, may those not yet arisen quickly perfect their minds, awakening as fully enlightened ones. May all worlds in 10 directions be entirely pure and vast. May they be filled with bodhisattvas surrounding Buddhas gathered beneath a bodhi tree. May as many beings as exist in 10 directions be always well and happy. May all samsaric beings live in accord with the Dharma, and may their every Dharma wish be fulfilled. Remembering my past lives in all varieties of existence, may I practice the Bodhisattva way, and thus in each cycle of death, migration, and rebirth, may I always abandon the householder's life. Then, following in the footsteps of the Buddhas and perfecting the practice of the Bodhisattva, may I always act without error or compromise, with ethical discipline, faultless and pure. May I teach the Dharma in the language of gods, in every language of spirits and nagas, of humans and of demons, and in the voice of every form of being. May I be gentle-minded, cultivating the 6 paramitas, and never forget bodhichitta. May I completely cleanse without omission every negativity and all that obscures this awakening mind. May I traverse in all my lives in the world, free of karma, afflictions, and interfering forces, just as the lotus blossom is undisturbed by the water's wave, just as the sun and moon move unhindered through the sky. May I ease the suffering in the lower realms and in the many directions and dimensions of the universe. May I guide all wonders in samsara to the pure bliss of awakening and be of worldly benefit to them as well. May I practice constantly for eons to come, perfecting the activities of awakening, acting in harmony with the various dispositions of beings, showing the ways of a bodhisattva. May I always have the friendship of those whose path is like mine, and with body, words, and also mind, may we practice together the same aspirations and activities. May I always meet a spiritual mentor and never displease that excellent friend who deeply wishes to help me and expertly teaches the bodhisattva way. May I always directly see the Buddhas, masters encircled by bodhisattvas, and without pause or discouragement for eons to come, may I make extensive offerings to them. May I hold within me the Buddha's genuine Dharma, illuminate everywhere the teachings that awaken, embody the realization of the bodhisattva, and practice ardently in all future eons. While circling through all states of existence, may I become an endless treasure of good qualities, skillful means, wisdom, samadhi, and liberating stabilizations, gathering limitless pristine wisdom and positive potential. On one atom I shall see Buddha fields numberless as atoms, inconceivable Buddhas among bodhisattvas in every field, practicing the activities of awakening. Perceiving this in all directions, I dive into an ocean of Buddha fields, each an ocean of the 3 times Buddhas in the space of a wisp of hair. So I too will practice for an ocean of eons. Thus I am continually immersed in the speech of the Buddhas, an expression that reveals an ocean of qualities in one word, the completely pure eloquence of all the Buddhas, communication suited to the very tendencies of beings. With strength of understanding, I plunge into the infinite enlightened speech of the Dharma, of all Buddhas and 3 times gone to freedom, who continually turn the wheel of Dharma methods. I shall experience in one moment such vast activity of all future eons, and I will enter into all eons of the 3 times in but a fraction of a second. In one instant, I shall see all those awakened beings, past, present, and future alliance amongst humans. And with the power of the illusion-like stabilization, I will constantly engage in their inconceivable activity. I shall manifest upon one single atom the ray of pure lands, present, past, and future. Likewise, I shall enter the array of pure Buddha fields in every direction without exception. I shall enter the very presence of all my guides, those lights of this world who are yet to appear, those sequentially turning the wheels of complete awakening, those who reveal nirvana, final perfect peace. May I achieve the power of swift magical emanation, the power to lead to the great vehicle through every approach, the power of always beneficial activity, the power of love pervading all realms, the power of all surpassing positive potential, the power of supreme knowledge unobstructed by discrimination, and through the powers of wisdom, skillful means, and samadhi, may I achieve the perfect power of awakening, purifying the power of all contaminated actions, crushing the power of disturbing emotions at the root, diffusing the power of interfering forces. I shall perfect the power of the bodhisattva practice. May I purify an ocean of worlds. May I free an ocean of beings. May I clearly see an ocean of Dharma. May I realize an ocean of pristine wisdom. May I purify an ocean of activities. May I fulfill an ocean of aspirations. May I make offerings to an ocean of Buddhas. May I practice without discouragement for an ocean of eons. To awaken fully to this bodhisattva way, I shall fulfill without exception all the diverse aspirations of the awakening practice. Buddhas gone to freedom in the 3 times everywhere. In order to practice exactly as the wise one called Samantabhadra, all embracing good, the elder brother of the sons and daughters of the Buddhas, I shall completely dedicate all this goodness. Likewise, may I dedicate just as the skillful Samantabhadra, with pure body, speech, and mind, pure actions, and pure Buddha fields. I shall give rise to the aspirations of Manjushri for the bodhisattva practice of all embracing good, to perfect these practices without discouragement or pause in all future eons. May my pure activities be endless, my good qualities boundless, and through abiding in immeasurable activity, may I actualize infinite emanations. Limitless is the end of space. Likewise, limitless are living beings. Thus, limitless are karma and afflictions. May my aspirations reach be limitless as well. One may offer to the Buddhas all wealth and adornments of infinite worlds in 10 directions, and one may offer during eons numberless atoms of the world, even the greatest happiness of gods and humans. But whoever hears this extraordinary aspiration and longing for highest awakening gives rise to faith just once, creates far more precious positive potential. Those who make this heartfelt aspiration for the Bodhisattva way will be free of all lower rebirths, free of harmful companions, and will quickly see Amitabha, infinite light. And even in this very human life, they will be nourished by happiness and have all conducive circumstances. Without waiting long, they'll become like Samantabhadra himself. Those who give voice to this extraordinary aspiration will quickly and completely purify the five boundless harmful actions created under the power of ignorance. Blessed with supreme knowledge, excellent body, family attributes, and appearance, they will be invincible to vast interfering forces and misleading teachers. And all the three worlds make offerings. Going quickly to the noble Bodhi tree and sitting there to benefit sentient beings, subduing all interfering forces, they will fully awaken and turn the great wheel of Dharma. Have no doubt that complete awakening is the fully ripened result, comprehended only by a Buddha, of holding in mind, by teaching, reading, or reciting, this aspiration of the Bodhisattva practice. In order to train just like the hero Manjushri, who knows reality as it is, and just like Samantabhadra as well, I completely dedicate all this goodness just as they did. With that dedication, which is praised as greatest by all the Buddhas gone to freedom in the 3 times, I too dedicate all my roots of goodness for the attainment of the Bodhisattva practice. When the moment of my death arrives, by eliminating all obscurations and directly perceiving Amitabha, may I go immediately to Sukhavati, pure land of great joy. Having gone to Sukhavati, may I actualize the meaning of these aspirations, fulfilling them all without exception, for the benefit of all beings for as long as this world endures. Born from an extremely beautiful, superlative lotus, in this joyful land, the Buddha's magnificent mandala, may I receive a prediction of my awakening directly from the Buddha Amitabha. Having received a prediction there, may I create vast benefit for beings throughout the 10 directions with a billion emanations by the power of wisdom. Through even this small virtue I have accumulated by offering this prayer of the Bodhisattva practice, may all the positive aspirations of beings be fulfilled in an instant. Through creating limitless positive potential, by dedicating this prayer of Samantabhadра's deeds, may all beings drowning in this torrent of suffering enter the presence of Amitabha. Through this king of aspirations, which is the greatest of the sublime, helping the infinite wonders in samsara. Through the accomplishment of this scripture, dazzling with Samantabhadра's practice, may suffering realms be utterly emptied of all beings. And then we dedicate for the long and stable lives of all of our gurus, especially, and the fulfillment of all the gurus' holy wishes, especially those of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Kyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Gandhar Rinpoche, Losam Tenzin, Serkang, Senchap Rinpoche, Ken Rinpoche, Geshe Chuni, Kansa Rinpoche, and others. And for the long and stable lives of all of our Dharma teachers, for Geshe Shar, Geshe Tenzin Dorje, Geshe Dorje Damdo, Venerable Sangye Kadro, Venerable Olivia Rossi, Venerable Tenzin Namjong, Venerable Marina Kortin, Venerable Tenzin Gache, Venerable Tuktin Klandro, Geshe Tenzin Zopa, and others. For the quick enlightenment of all of our kind benefactors, so this is Root Institute, for all the benefactors of Root Institute and FPMT and Dharma in general, for all their have success in all their activities. And then for those with health issues, I don't know, I guess that's like PC for being sick, isn't it? Not sure. Anyway, but for those with health problems or issues, added today was Indira and her brother, I suppose, and then Marie Therese. Then from yesterday and before, Bharat Sima, Ramachandriya, Nirmala, Shibuhi, and Vijay Vedavali, Nishad Ahmed, Natalie, Beverly Bird, Isabel Tate, Mary Barnes, Betty Kelly, Sukenda Shit, Indrat Kaur, Venerable Kunzang, Ravi Shankar, Budraj, and then I'll just skip down randomly to the end. Or to the Usha Khanna, Philip George, Ms. Kaul, Anuradha Mansingh, Maya Joshi, Atisha Mathur, Sharma family, Philip George's family, Philamine Muttu, Kushi, Firoz, Elavia, Saurabh Parak, Shaileshwar, Sati Prasad, Not family, Dishin Bedi, Kevin McMillan, Lakshmi, Bhadra Charva, Matteo De Micheli. And then for all those who recently passed away due to COVID-19 or due to other causes and are passing to the bardo, and they quickly take a precious human rebirth or be reborn in a pure land wherever there are the best possible conditions for them, wherever they can meet the best possible conditions to progress towards enlightenment. Especially Yeshe Chede, Narsingh Rao, Ila Chandrasekhar, and Dr. Srinath, and then from before.
Venerable, I did send you Quinton Jones passed away.
Quinton Jones, okay. Then Libinius means Vijay Saxena, Kabir's uncle. Banumati Joshi, Ashish Bansal, and Venerable Tenzin Dawa, and Chunu, who was for many, many years provided Root Institute with, was a shopkeeper, provided Root Institute with its food and things. Halam, Niti Tolia, Elaine Sengelman, Shanvag, Gopi Razdam, Naresh Mathur, Lama Tupten, Ladaki Lama, Saurabh Gupta, Chaita Goa, Mama Tesina, Anil Tejani, Kailash Jha, Kinkar, Dinanath Jha, Barbara, and others. And then for all the Dharma projects, especially those for Buddhist Institute for Wisdom Culture, Shakyamuni Buddha Clinic, Maitreya School, and then Maitri Project, and then all the other FPMT centers and projects in India and the rest of the world, and all the Dharma projects acting, in accordance with the Buddhist teachings and the guidance and advice of His Holiness Dalai Lama and so forth. And they all continue to flourish for far, far, far into the future until samsara is emptied of all sentient beings. Especially in Tibet, which is under occupation by oppression by China. Very quickly have political and religious freedom, as well as the Uyghur people, and all people under oppression, especially when the Dharma continue to flourish in Tibet. May it flourish again in the land of its origin, India, and may it flourish and spread to all of the regions of Earth and the universe. And then bring to mind any special intentions and prayers you might have. So may all of those your prayers and virtuous intentions be fulfilled in accordance with your wish. Okay, that's the end. I'll stop there for tonight.